Ladies and gentlemen, it's Swissman 15, and I know it's been a while since an online battle has been uploaded, but here is one right now. Actually, it's going to be two of them in the same episode. It is my battle and a second battle versus Nestor. I will explain about the third battle and what happened to that after these two. But anyway, it's me and Nestor. Right now, it's in the All Hallows tournament. It's an early period battle to start. The next one is a high period. And they're very close, fun battles, so let's go straight into it. I'm playing as the Byzantines, he's playing as Russia. He's brought so much cav, you have no idea, but a lot of it is rather poor quality in comparison to my cav. But and my infantry certainly outmatches his, but he just loves his cavalry, this man. He likes cavalry and cheap infantry, and that is his style, I suppose. It's almost like the Croat Axeman style, I hate it. So we just go pretty much dead ahead. We're both pretty much rushing because there's nothing else to do. He's got the micro advantage on me for certain since he's got so many extra units, but I have some better cav, trying to take out his units, make him rout. I have more infantry and better quality, so I'm just trying to use it to my advantage by breeding his cavalry back or his infantry back before his cavalry can beat mine. And you can see right here, my general really took out some of those Druzina here. And now the infantry engagement has begun. He's got cavalry militia already routing, and we've got some inclining axemen over here, but mine certainly outclass these woodsmen. Pathetic little woodsmen. I'm trying to get my cav around. A little slow to start the micro here as we try to pull out of this engagement. He's got routers here and there. It's a little awkward over here, a little funky, not very defined lines. Luckily he can't get a charge because the woodsmen are in the way. Hopefully I can kill some of those. I left some of my Byzantine lancers behind. He's got cavalry and militia heading around my flank. But again, my cavalry is much better quality in the melee, so I can take out these cavalry and militia like over here in no time whatsoever with these wonderful maces of the Cataphractois. I'm certainly beating his infantry back a bit. He's only got some dismounted Druzina. That's about it for his infantry. Though they are doing quite well against my own infantry, and my Varangians are routing. It looks quite bad, actually. But my cavalry is doing quite well, and then I see his general out here, and I want to kill him. So I send my troops thusly into his, and you can see that general's unit gets taken out quick. I do have upgrades on my cavalry, I do think, so that explains some of the strength they have. And right then, a lot of his cavalry routes, like this Druzina right here, which aids me greatly. And I still have some of my infantry here and there. Some of them are routing, some are not. I'm just trying to hold my lines together. I was very nervous at this point because I thought, oh god, he's gotten me. But I still have this one unit. This unit is a brave unit of Byzantine Lancers, holding off so many troops here and just keeping my lines together. I'm trying to get my cavalry around and use the charge advantage that I have, because now I certainly have a cavalry numbers advantage. He's got so many cavalry militia routing. Biggest problem for him is that they have terrible morale, and I'm just using any troops I have to get the routers so they can't return, which makes my future life easier. Getting some charges in here, which route some woodsmen, not quite the Druzina, but you take what you can get. I got some more Byzantine Lancers coming in for the charge, hopefully to rout these guys, which they do. Good for me. And I got my returning infantry in time. Luckily, his woodsmen are too slow to catch up. I want to catch up to this blob and really just take it out before his troops come up and catch up to mine. Like these cavalry here, which are still strong in number, but a little shaken and a little tired. Not quite at the stature of mine. Who are still fresh and ready to fight. And you can see them really drop down quick. Those cavalry militia are out of here, followed by the Druzina, who should rout soon, and at this point it is in my favor by just 3%, because so many of his troops are routing, and I'm just trying to take him out. Wow. Interesting. Oh yeah, he admits defeat right here. Could have gone either way, really, but very, very close. But what brought his loss really was the fact that he had so much cheap cav that just couldn't handle it, and then they died after. It was all doomed after his general died, which he let go. If he hadn't got his general into my back lines and just left him, perhaps it would have gone differently, because I think my infantry was not held out long enough, or my cavalry would have not. So it would have been interesting to see how that would have went, but Then we go to the second match, Enjoy that. I'll bring you back in just 1 second. And welcome back. Here's the second battle. It's a high period. He's playing some Moors, and in retaliation, because I thought he's going to have so much cav, especially since the last round, which he does have quite a lot of cav, and the camels that I'm not very good against, I thought, hey, I think it's time for pipe box. That's simply because I didn't know what else to do. I didn't know how I could out-micro him, especially when he's got the Turk camels that I really am not good against. They're one of my weaknesses. Oh, you can see my troops engaging here. So I have a pike box, and I didn't want to be aggressive, but I had to be because of the way the dice fell. We were flipping to see who would attack first because we both wanted to defend this round, and he got the luck there and was able to defend on this round. And you can see he had some French-mounted archers using them to harass him. I don't know what to do because I can't really attack him when he's got these peasant crossbows. I was hoping he would have a full-on rush army because I do have dismounted French archers and a nice little pike box here, but unfortunately that did not go to the way I wanted it to. So I'm slowly advancing, trying to take out these camels a bit, harass them with my horse archers, which isn't going as well as I would hope. I'm losing a lot more than he is. But it's just me trying to maneuver right now. I don't know what to do. I was very flustered trying to think about how I could make this attack. And I can't even get more than 4. I wanted to get more pikemen, but unfortunately there's a max 4 of a unit rule, which bugs me greatly, and I had to get armored surgeons to control my back. I'm just trying to move in, trying to get some of my archers out front, maybe to skirmish his and take him out. But it's going to be difficult, especially with his amount of cavalry, especially some fast cavalry with his Christian guard. And he's got quite good infantry as well to go along with it, so it's not favorable to me, especially this fighting environment, since I have to go on the attack. I was afraid that he would go over here to this hill and just make me go up because I have to attack. I really hate this forced attack rule for either side, because especially when you have different sets of rules, because then it's more advantageous to defend for the high period than it was for early period. Since rushing is a lot easier and more effective in early period, especially since there aren't very good archers to counter it with. Just taking a nice drink. So here we are. I'm slowly moving my troops here. I'm trying to hopefully find a way to sneak in a rush, because I don't know how else to engage him. The problem is that he's got so much good cavalry, and so much cavalry to outflank me, since I need him to attack me for a pike box to work. I really should have thought of that before I did it, but then again, I didn't know how to fight him head-on with a normal army. Maybe a Russian, but that could have been difficult / risky. Not to say that this wasn't risky at all, because this was quite risky indeed. I also want to try to get charges on his peasant crossbows with my own cavalry, but he did a great job of protecting them. Nestor here. So I just had to settle for harassing his turret camel spearmen. I think I get a charge here. No, he's got his camels are really close out front. And here I'm trying to find a way to attack, and of course I choose to go in this little ditch. Literally there's hills all around me and I go in the ditch. Smart choices by Swissman 15, of course. And then here I'm like, hey, maybe I can shoot him, but of course his cavalry's fast and I don't think I can draw all my troops before the charge comes in, which really frustrated me. But a few of them die. Oh wow, it's actually going really fast right now. And a few of them die. Only 8 from that unit at least. Trying to catch out more. There goes one dead, one more dead by all those arrows. My French archers were not doing me as well as I would hope they would. That came out wrong. So in about a few seconds I decided, screw it, time to rush. Or at least take the hill, because he's got these peasant crossbows for me. So I head out. You see I got my French-mounted archers trying to do some damage here. Take out these guys. And with the crossbow units still doing in such high number, I just didn't have the missile advantage that I thought I would, which was probably one of the things that would have kept me in it. If he had just a rush army, I would have been fine. I think that's what I was counting on, and sometimes you can't count on everything. So he certainly got an advantage at this point. He exploited my poor choice of bringing out my archers here, and especially of putting myself in this ditch. He outmaneuvered my own cavalry, which are now routing, so I'm like, okay, what do I do? So now we're just going to fight a bit. I got my spears to take out camels, which was really helpful to my cause. Get a few of them out. They really did their job here, at least. And I didn't know what to do. I was just saying, hey, let's fire away. But he's got his troops in loose formation. I think gets his crossbows back in formation. And I don't know how to really counter them because they get a great angle on me, so I decide to rush. Using my pikes as some sort of barrier, but here is where the engagement begins. Ooh, that almost came in completely, but he's still got his turret camels, and he's starting to spread out, getting ready to use whatever he can to flank me. And I'm trying to spread out myself and make sure, or condense myself enough where I can defend myself. Of course, he already gets an advantage against this unit here, which I think I sort of forgot about when I was moving them out in front. And they won't last long because they will rout, the little cowards that they were. And also trying to make sure that he can't rear charge me. But hey, speaking of a rear charge, do a counter charge, hopefully to get some more of these troops dead. More of him dead. The more of him dead, the merrier. Trying to keep some of my pike box formation with some Flemish pikemen. Hopefully he'll run into them. I really should have moved this one back and just use them guard my lines, the back of the lines, but I couldn't find the front of his lines since they weren't very well defined, which is a smart move by him since with a pike box you need rigid formation, something that helps you out, and I really took out this camel unit with those archers. I really should have changed my direction, but I was probably busy trying to micro my spearmen, which are routing. Of course, he's got Sudanese tribesmen, which are good against spearmen. Those are the guys. It's an awesome unit, really. And I'm just trying to make sure my archers are close enough to the melee where they're not going to get killed, but also far enough away where they won't get sucked into the actual fighting. And hopefully I can beat his infantry before he beats my pikes. But the problem is that he's got Christian Guard, which are phenomenal. And my formation is practically non-existent right now. It doesn't exist. It really doesn't. Though I'm trying to get my pikemen here, you see, to combat these armored Christian Guard up here, but probably won't do much avail, even though they are already dying, but he's got so much cav, who cares? And now you see the fight going down. I'm surprised how well these Sudanese tribesmen really held up against Chivalric Knights, especially, dismounted Chivalric Knights. It was my goal right now just to take out the Christian Guard units, which are the best, or even kill his general, which might give me a fighting chance in this situation. My dismounted French archers can hold themselves in a melee, but they're not perfect. And I'm not sure where all his archers. He's got some of his crossbows here, which are annoying as hell. And you can see I'm getting a charge in here, trying to take out these guys. But of course, the iron will of these Sudanese tribesmen is quite amiable. And I can't really maneuver around him because then I open myself up for rear charges. And of course he's got Sudanese tribesmen coming in. My archer's getting really scrunched up and fighting in close quarters right now. Luckily I do have one flank sort of calm with my pikemen guarding it. But this pikeman unit is now being taken out by these Sudanese tribesmen. And yeah, I'm pretty much surrounded, but I'm not completely surrounded in the idea that my troops are. It's just each unit's fighting in a circle, so they don't really have the morale effect quite yet of being surrounded. And I can't quite... I was really hoping, like, they're getting tired, these tribesmen, maybe they'll rout. One big rout could really get me a long way, and I'm sending my arrows into his general, maybe killing him, but it's just not enough, because my infantry cannot outmatch his forever, or even hold out against his forever. I still have a few pikemen, but just not enough. Right now the balance is 70% of myself killed to only half of his army, so that's the way the balance is, unfortunately. And here comes in the turret camel spearmen, coming in for the rear charge and breaking my lines, which is terrible for me, since I was hinging on maybe winning the infantry fight just enough to win the fight overall, but then go pikemen routing away, and you can say pretty much that I am defeated at this point. There's very little I could have done after this to win. My mistakes were early on in how I used my French cavalry and how I made this assault and go into the ditch. That's what really killed me. And maybe what I could have done actually if I went on the hill and forced him to fight me maybe sooner, or use my missile advantage a little bit better. Problem is the rigid formation is that I'm not very used to it, for one thing, and Nestor is a great player with his cav, and he knows. I think he knew how to break up a pike fox. Somehow my general's still alive, and I'm just using him to fight to the death. He will not abandon his men or the cause. But of course, nothing can stop such a defeat like this. 63% of his army has been killed to 80% of mine, so at least I got half of it. But I'm just waiting for all my troops to die at this point. I'm just like, oh well. And then here, I admit defeat, maybe keeping my general alive to fight another day. And I lost. Now, this meant we go on to a tiebreaker round, a third game, and here's something I should note about myself, is that after I lose, I get very flustered, and I stop thinking clearly, and I start thinking, I get very impatient. And what happens with that is I did a rush, and I did the least coordinated rush of my life, because I was so impatient and frustrated with myself after that loss, and how I barely beat him the first round. So I was thinking, oh, I'll take the HRE and just go, but it was so uncoordinated that my infantry was wiped out, and I should have taken my time, but I didn't. I was all in my head, really. That last game was my own head really causing itself to lose. I didn't really think straight, and I completely messed up the coordination of my attack. I should have taken my time. I would have had the time to take a step back and think, okay, how do I really want to go about fighting this army? Because he had a very interesting configuration as Hungry, with a lot of cheap infantry, which is kind of difficult to fight when you have such good cavalry, and I was hoping that I would have the cavalry advantage. He even had more cavalry than me, I think. And anyway, I was beaten quite badly, and I rage quit. Well, I admitted defeat and then rage quit when it was clear that I had lost. And I was really angry at myself, so I just quit the game, didn't save the replay, and didn't really think about it. So you all should know that he did whip my ass in that last game. It was no contest. I completely self-destructed and lost myself the tournament against him. And he's a very worthy opponent, and he deserved to move on. So thank you all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Goodbye, my friends.